You think you know your motorcycle. You think the mechanic down the street, the one you've been paying for years, is looking out for you. But here's the truth. He isn't. Mechanics survive not because you can't fix things, but because you don't know the secrets they hide. They smile, they nod, and they hand you a bill that feels heavier than the work they actually did. And the worst part? You pay it willingly, because you've been trained to believe that motorcycles are complicated, that only professionals can understand what's really happening under the tank. But what if I told you that most of the things you pay for are simple tricks, hidden in plain sight? What if I told you that mechanics need you to stay ignorant because your lack of knowledge is their biggest source of income? They don't want you to know the shortcuts, the easy fixes, the insider truths, because once you know them, you'll never look at your bike or your mechanic the same way again. This video isn't just another motorcycle tips video. This is about pulling back the curtain and showing you exactly what's going on. By the time you finish watching, you'll realize how much money you've been burning, how many times you've been manipulated, and how powerful it feels to finally know what's really happening with your machine. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you're about to hear the 7 secrets mechanics pray you never discover. And once you know them, there's no going back. You'll ride smarter, save more, and maybe, just maybe, enjoy the feeling of beating the system that's been beating you for years. Secret 1. The oil change scam. Let's start with the most common and the most profitable scam, the oil change. Mechanics love telling you that your bike needs an oil change every 1,000 miles or some absurdly short interval. Why? Because oil is cheap, but labor is expensive. They make their money not from the oil itself, but from getting you into the shop as often as possible. The truth is, most modern motorcycles with quality oil don't need changing anywhere near that often. In fact, manufacturers design engines to run far longer before the oil even begins to degrade. But here's the manipulative trick. They prey on your fear. You've been told that dirty oil kills engines, so you obey without questioning. Think about it. Are you protecting your bike or just protecting their business model? Once you realize that proper oil and filters can safely last much longer, you'll stop falling for this cycle. And that's exactly why they don't want you to know it. Secret 2. The unnecessary parts replacement game. Ever notice how mechanics always seem to find something else wrong when you bring your bike in for a minor fix? A brake pad almost gone, a chain getting too loose, a spark plug that's burnt out. They know you don't actually see the part they're replacing, so they can easily exaggerate its condition. The truth is, many riders end up replacing parts that still had plenty of life left. But here's the sinister part. It's not just about money, it's about control. When a mechanic convinces you that your bike is constantly falling apart, you start relying on them blindly. You stop questioning. You become dependent. And dependency is the strongest chain they can wrap around your wallet. The shocking reality? Many riders throw away hundreds, sometimes thousands, on parts that didn't actually need changing. If you start learning how to visually inspect these parts yourself, you'll break free from one of the biggest traps in motorcycle ownership. Secret 3. The overpriced labor hours illusion. Mechanics often charge by labor hours, but here's the ugly truth. They don't actually work by the clock. They use a flat-rate manual that tells them how long a job should take, not how long it really does. So if the book says 2 hours to change a clutch, and the mechanic does it in 45 minutes, you still pay for 2 full hours. They literally profit off speed, and you're none the wiser. This is why they appear so casual, sipping tea while your bike is being fixed. Because you've already been billed for time they don't even need to spend. Think about how insane this is. Imagine paying a taxi driver for a 2-hour ride, even if he gets you there in 20 minutes. That's the system you're trapped in. Once you understand this, you'll never look at a repair bill the same way again. Secret 4. The special tools. Myth. One of the biggest weapons mechanics use against riders is fear of tools. They'll tell you a certain job requires specialized equipment, only available in a professional shop. That sounds intimidating, doesn't it? But here's the kicker. Most of the time, those special tools are just minor variations of common tools you can buy cheaply online. They're counting on you to be too scared to even try. Why? Because if you realize you can do 50% of the so-called complex work with a $20 tool set and a YouTube tutorial, you'd stop walking into their shop altogether. This myth keeps you dependent, keeps you small, and keeps them rich. The moment you break it, you gain not just skill, but confidence. And that confidence is worth more than any money you'll save. Secret 5. The parts price markup. Here's something most riders never notice. Parts sold through mechanics are often marked up way above retail. That spark plug that costs $5 online? They'll charge you $15, then act like they're doing you a favor by providing the part. And you don't question it, because you're already in the shop, already in the system, already feeling like you don't have another option. But you do. You could easily buy most parts yourself at a fraction of the cost, often from the exact same supplier they use. But if you knew that, you wouldn't be feeding their profit margins. And that's why they keep quiet. The harsh truth? Half of your repair bill isn't labor. It's the inflated cost of parts they don't want you to compare prices on. Secret 6. The free checkup trap. You've probably heard this one. Bring your bike in for a free inspection. Sounds nice, right? Wrong. It's bait. The goal of a free checkup isn't to help you. It's to find as many things as possible to charge you for later. Once your bike is in their shop, they have total control of the narrative. They'll list issues you can't verify, pressure you with fear, and make you believe your safety depends on saying yes. And because it was free, you feel guilty walking away without agreeing to something. It's manipulation, dressed up as generosity. The reality? A free inspection is never free. It's the most expensive trick in the book, because it opens the door for every other scam they run. Secret 7. The loyalty illusion. Finally, the biggest lie of them all. Mechanics love to build a sense of trust. They remember your name, maybe even throw in a small discount, and make you feel like you're their special customer. But think carefully. Why do they do this? Because loyalty makes you blind. A loyal rider stops comparing prices, stops questioning recommendations, and starts handing over money without hesitation. And that loyalty? It's engineered. It's not friendship. It's business psychology. Once you wake up to this illusion, you'll see that loyalty has been costing you freedom, money, and knowledge. True loyalty should be to your motorcycle, not the mechanic who profits from your ignorance. So now you know the truth. 7 dirty little secrets mechanics never wanted you to hear. And here's the funny part. Now that you know them, you'll never be able to walk into a shop with the same innocent trust again. You'll catch the little lies, the hidden charges, the fake urgency. It's like pulling the mask off a magician. You can't enjoy the trick once you know how it's done. But here's where it gets interesting. Almost every rider has a horror story. Maybe you got charged triple for a part that should have cost pocket change. Maybe they fixed something that mysteriously broke again a week later. Or maybe you've had that one mechanic who treated you like royalty, only for you to realize later you were just their favorite ATM. And I want you to share those stories below, because every comment is another secret exposed, another warning that could save someone else from being played. Think about it. If you stay silent, the scam keeps running. But if you drop your experience in the comments, you're not just venting. You're teaching every other rider watching this how to fight back. Plus, let's be honest, I want to see who got scammed the worst. Because, let's face it, someone here definitely got charged $200 for blinker fluid. So tell me in the comments, what's the worst, funniest, or most ridiculous thing a mechanic has ever told you? I'm warning you now. Once you scroll down, you'll lose hours just reading the insanity.